school for creative producing, and I want to eventually make my own things. So get to it, you know. So that's been something that's been very reassuring.
Amazing. Andrew, thank you for speaking to me. I am done watching Ransom Canyon like the rest of the world. Is it fair to say, I saw your IMDb, I know you've been doing this forever, but is it fair to say this was your breakout role and this made you the sensation you are today?
I would say so. I mean, I think in a weird way, I think everything is, the next thing is could be the breakout, could not be. But I mean, I was saying this to my folks the other day. I was like, I've done stuff before that I've been really proud of and no one's seen, you know. So to do something and to have people actually see it is really a completely different experience, and I'm like pinching myself still. And I'm very grateful for it. But yeah, I mean, I would say working for Netflix, that's the real deal. So yeah.
How would you say your life has changed since the show came out?
I don't know. My life is kind of the same. I think something that is different is, if anything, it's made me want to work more, and it's made me want to dive into different projects, similar projects, something that I can. It's made me want to continue to feed that soul. So yeah, it's been a great motivator, and that's been a big difference. It's been a motivator in a sense where it's like, yeah, I'm on a Netflix show, and I was in school for creative producing, and I want to eventually make my own things. So get to it, you know. So that's been something that's been very reassuring with the show. But my day-to-day life is, I look very different than how I look in the show, as you can see right now. So I don't think people will recognize me. I'm like a little shapeshifter. So I think I'm good on that front. But I mean, I show up for my friends and I show up for my family, and I think that's what will always stay the same, regardless of a show hitting or a show not hitting.
I mean, I've been working with your publicist, Sean Riley, forever, and he's been singing your praises. What keeps you motivated, and I mean, what really got you into acting?
Honestly, it was a competition thing. It was. I'm a very competitive person. I grew up in a very competitive family, and I didn't get a role in 7th grade that I secretly wanted, and then I got really competitive and I started working my tail off, and I got the lead the next year. And in a way, it was a game when I was young, but then I caught the bug for it, and I was always a big movie person, so I was constantly watching films and stuff. But it started off with an inner competitiveness in me, and then I think I played college tennis, and I grew up playing tennis, and in tennis you lose a lot more than you win, just like in acting. So both are very similar to me, and everything that I've learned in tennis I've got to apply in acting, whether it's practicing patience or learning how to lose gracefully or learning how to take from your losses, because in acting you do an audition, you loved it, it was amazing, you don't hear anything. So I think a big part of it for me has been I'm constantly motivated to be my best self. I think if I'm putting my name on it, I'm going to commit to it 100%. And that is something that, I hold to with very high regard. and on top of it as well, it's just I want to be I want to be great at this, and I want to learn, and I want to get better and better and better, and I want to be able to affect people that when they watch my performances, and that like that's what a lot of the great actors that I've watched, that's what they did for me, and I've had life-changing things happen in a movie theater, so that's what I want to do for other people, and I think that's a great motivator.
Well, obviously, I mean, the Ransom Canyon audition did work out for you. Could you take us back to, I mean, what it was like, and when did you hear back and stuff like that?
Sure, yeah. I auditioned for David Rappaport, and a week later, I think, I heard I didn't get it. But my mom, she saw the tape and she was like, "You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it." I think moms have they just are wicked like that. And I was like, "Mom, he just told me that I didn't get it. Like, we can stop. Like, it's fine. Like, I know you like the tape, but it's not gonna happen." Then a week later, after they told me I didn't get it, they go, "Can you go on a chemistry read and tomorrow with Garrett? Here's a 3-page monologue." I was like, "Yeah, sure." So Garrett and I hop on and we do a little chemistry read, and 5 minutes after that, I was a creative choice, and then Netflix wanted to see me again. They thought I looked too old or too big or whatever it may be. I don't know. So then I sent in another tape, and the rest is history. And then I flipped apart. And then literally a month later, we were in New Mexico. So yeah, it moved faster for me. I know a lot of people that auditioned for it before COVID, and that whole I didn't. So I was like very close to the end. So I think they went through everyone else. Were like, well, I guess we'll go with Liner. But yeah, it ended up working out.
Obviously, your mom has a great sense of perception, better than Paula Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. My mom is no Paula Joe. She's she's a perfect angel.
I just watched the show, and so I'm jumping in and out of topics, maybe. But speaking of Paula Joe, that scene when your character turns on her at that town hearing, was that the highlight of the show for you? Was that difficult to do in a way?
It was really hard for me to do, to be honest with you. I felt like Reed the whole season was contradicting himself, and I think this was like, no matter what you do, you never turn on your family. So it was really hard for me because it's something that I would never do. But what I had to come to was, he's a 17-year-old kid that's clearly conflicted and wasn't brought up the same way I was, and is constantly contradicting himself, whether he means to or not. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, he this whole first season, you clearly see him stumbling along and making all these mistakes. So it was really difficult for me, because I couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, why is he doing? I don't get it. Why is he doing this? Yeah, he's for his uncle, but then the next scene, his uncle's really dismissive, and like I don't know. So I think for me to wrap my head around it, it was tricky. But yeah, I think that's a big turning point in the show, not only for my character, but for a lot of other characters. And I think that weirdly enough, it sets us up for hopefully exploring the repair of the Collins family, and exploring like what it truly, like you don't want to be afraid of, and Reed is finding himself in that sort of way, kind of getting pulled in two different directions, but not making a choice. like kind of being okay with Staten and being okay with Davis, you're picking Staten. So I think that that's what is going to be interesting to explore. But yeah, I mean, it was tricky for sure, and I enjoyed the complexity of it, and the, you know, the fact that it was hard for me on a brain level to wrap my head around it.
So would you say that Reed is nothing like Andrew Lyden?
I think on paper maybe he's a little bit like me. You know, I played quarterback in high school, and you know, I was a very confident person as a young kid too. I wouldn't say I was cocky, but hopefully not. But yeah, I think that our surface level maybe we're similar, but I don't think I operate the way that Reed operates. I think I operate with like a lot more strength. You know, I think I'm very solid in my choices. So that Reed is not solid in his choices.
You mentioned your chemistry Reed with Garrett. I think you, Garrett, and Lizzie were kind of like the core of the show. I mean, the show is happening on so many levels. So, what was it like working with the two of them?
It was amazing. I think that we had a month before we started shooting, and we all became really close friends. And at the end of the day, like, I mean, for our business particularly, you're working with people, and you're having to be intimate with other human beings. And man, it's hard if you're not okay with one another. It's really hard if you're not okay with one another, and it makes it so much better if you're good with someone. So the fact that the three of us became really close friends, made the work so much easier, and that's something that, like, yes, I'm so thankful for. And we had a blast. I mean, Garrett and I riding horses and stuff, that was like the most fun, maybe the most fun I've had on set before. So, yeah, and Lizzie and I are really, really close. Really close. I think we all look out for each other, and we all try to enhance each other's lives in a social way, and also like in a professional way. So it helps when you're working and you're on set, and especially with a show like this where we're working alongside like Minka and Josh and Owen and that kind of environment with older folks with actors that are seasoned and dialed. You know, it makes it a place where, you know, it's daunting at first, but it gets you to a place where you have your other people, you have your folks with you. I have my friends here. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm kind of nervous about this. I'm kind of nervous. They're like, yeah, I get it. You talk it through with them or whatever it may be, but you know you have someone. And I think at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And that's what they were to me, and I think that's what I was to them.
What was it like working with these legends, so to speak, like George Cornell and Owen and, you know, the whole Collins family? Yeah. I mean, they're so problematic on set, on screen. I mean, what was it like on set?
It was such a great space on set. I mean, Owen and I clicked right away. He's not only a great actor, but he's a great man, and he, just like Lizzie and Garrett, were also just like, he was a person that would be there for you and showed up. So it got to a point where it was very it was fun to watch Josh work. It was fun to watch, you know, Minka work. I had some scenes with Minka, which was really nice, and of course Josh. But it was school for me. I was studying, you know, and on top of that, they're like the sweetest people. So you have the combination of work being, class, and then you're best friends with your teacher. Like, that's awesome. So it was a joy.
So, two-part question. What can we look forward to in season 2, maybe? And are there other projects on the pipeline for you that we should be excited for?
So, yeah, there's a movie I did, a boxing movie I did called Bang Bang. It should be coming out this year. It's a two-hander with me and Tim Blake Nelson, and directed by Vincent Grashaw. It's at Detroit, and I'm really proud of that movie. I can't wait for it to come out finally. I did that right after I did probably in 2022 or 2023, maybe. Did it a while ago. So 2022. So that's coming out, and then another movie I did, Please Don't Feed the Children, Destry Spielberg's directorial debut. That's coming out this year, I think. So that's been really exciting. And then maybe some other things. Hopefully some other things. We'll see. But yeah, so we got that coming out, and then hopefully, if we get a season 2, I mean, I can just speak for what I want to see, and I think I like I said before, I think I want to see the Collins family repair and come back even stronger. Maybe come back even more dialed, even more in unison, and kind of, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people on surface level see Josh and they're like, oh my God, Staten, yay! But I don't know, if you watch the show again, I don't know if I'm loving Staten. I think he might be just as bad, I don't know if he's the good guy. I think Davis is good sometimes, but I think I'd like to see the tables turn. I'd like to see it flip on its head. So whatever that may be, I'd like to play more football and ride more horses and get petty with it. So yeah, I think also Reed got the raw end of the stick when it came to the love triangle, and I think that's always, I just think that I'd like to see that not happen. I'd like to see I'd like to see the cool kid that's the football star not get cheated on. maybe that's a little selfish, but yeah. So I think there's a lot of room and a lot of things to do, and I think that if we get a season 2, I'm at least like, what are we gonna do? This is exciting. So yeah, totally up for every and anything.
So you said that the Collins family might not be as bad as we think they are. Kirkland's might be bad.
Yeah.
So would you say there is anything good about Paula Jo there?
I think she loves her son ferociously. I think she was trying to set up a life for her son the best way that she knows how. And I think that at the end of the day, she is she does stir the pot. So, I mean, that's not ideal, but I think that she's the one. I think she's the one that truly is fighting for Reed, and I think she's also the one that's then eventually gets Reed to move back in home. So I don't think that should go underlooked, because if it wasn't for her, Reed would still be at Statens, So I don't know. I don't think she's that bad. I think she's also Meta's amazing as a human being. So it's so funny that she's playing the bad guy or whatever. But Yeah, I think she's different than everyone else on the show as well. And I think that maybe just because someone's different. And then I think that's the same treatment that Reed gets. Reed is different and Paula Joe is different, and they're both getting, the business. So I don't know. I think that maybe on a second watch you're like, okay, well, if they were messing with my kid, or if I had to put on for my family, and these were my only options, what would I do? And maybe you wouldn't do that, and I probably wouldn't, but I would do something else, maybe just as bad, but in my own way, So, yeah.
My final question to you: your acting bucket list. If you could, star in any movie of your choice down the line, who's that actor or the director you're picking?
Ooh, I love Tom Ford. I think he's made 2 films, and I would love to do a movie with him. He tells a beautiful story, and it looks beautiful, and it's very emotional. It's very real. So Tom Ford, and I'd like to work with my acting coach. His name's John Ailes. He was in Euphoria and a bunch of other things, and he's like one of the most talented actors I know. So I would kill to work with him. So if John Ailes and I could do like a 7 Tom Ford movie, that'd be perfect.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your performance. I really enjoyed the show, and it was delightful speaking to you.
Thank you. That's very sweet. I appreciate that.